Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel, and here's a headline from crypto media outlet U Today. Fiat debasement will make institutions allocate to Bitcoin, says Dan Tapiero. Now, I think it's easy for us as XRP holders to frequently just kind of check out of the concept, not think about it with enough regularity, or fully appreciate just the fact that these are truly early times. I don't care if the asset class has been around for over a decade, the crypto asset class. We are in extremely early days. The nascency of this asset class is more than a little notable. And so there's a few things going on here that I wanted to mention, because I think that a ton of money is going to be flowing into XRP specifically, as well as the rest of the asset class. And ultimately, I think those cryptocurrencies that have the most staying power, or utility will have the most staying power, rather. And so that's why, for me, my entire investment thesis is that utility matters and will win the day. Even if there aren't enough people sufficiently parsing out the differences between coins today, okay, fine. I think it's going to get all worked out right now. It's just that right now, it's not obvious to most people which coins are going to have staying power. And it's not obvious to me either, other than to say XRP, because, there's real utility to be there. And even then, I acknowledge that I could be wrong. Like, if there doesn't continue to be notable adoption, like actual real-world adoption, I always reserve the right to change my opinion here. But right now, it's looking pretty damn good. I am Mr. XRP Bull. So there's lots to talk about in this video, but before we go any further, if you would please, delicately tap that like button. And also, if you are a fan of Ripple and XRP, you came to the right spot, son. Go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel. Don't cost nothing. Take my free content, damn it. And so I consider this. Think about what's happening right now. It's like the perfect storm of craziness right now. You've got this nascent asset class. It's so illiquid compared to any other asset class, which I will be illustrating in this video. And one of the reasons that I want to point that out is because when you have illiquid assets, that's a huge part of the reason that you have an opportunity for asymmetrical returns. That's very important to understand. Whatever the asset is that you're talking about, if it's a tiny asset and there's almost no money in it, if more money comes in, it's just explosion. So if people have ever been wondering, how is it that you get these crazy returns with crypto over the last decade? And that's why some people, not understanding this, on the surface, it looks like, oh my God, is this Bitcoin thing a scam? Well, no, it's just that there's almost no money to it. And so to wrap your head around this, and this is the easiest example I can make, and there's more to it, but just to conceptually understand what I'm talking about, which is important to know. Think about how much money it would take to double the price of Bitcoin today. How much money would have to flow in? And then there's way less money in XRP, right? Much smaller market cap. How much money would have to flow into XRP to double it? And that's because there's not that much participation. It's very early days here. And so that's how you get this opportunity for asymmetrical returns here. That's why you get these crazy percentage run-ups. Considering XRP's original price, it was, I can't remember what it was when it hit the markets, but I know like the low point for XRP ever historically is like 0.002 cents or something like that. And so it's up. Even considering the retracement, it's still up 4,400%. Now, it was up, I can't remember if it was like up 60,000 or 80,000, something like that, when it was closer to its all-time high. I'm not going to try and do the math in my head real quick, but you kind of get what I'm saying here, right? And so when you have these an asset class like this that is illiquid, but should have staying power. Like, if I'm right, that's why I think XRP could be worth substantially more. And I do want to say, like, I don't have a financial background. I'm not offering financial advice. Don't buy or sell because of anything I say. I'm just talking about this because it's a fun and interesting topic, but I'm just your regular Joe Schmo member of the XRP community. I want to be super clear about that. But I do think that, here's what I'm most certain of. This asset class is freaking here to stay. And as long as XRP continues to be adopted, I think, because, again, utility actually matters, I think it's going to be worth substantially more, because the longer crypto is around and it proves that it's not going anywhere as an asset class, the more, as more time passes, more people are going to feel comfortable. Like, how is it that it's been around eventually 20, 30, 40 years? How is it possible if it's this scam thing that's going away? Well, no, it's not like going to be a 40-year scam. Like, that's ridiculous, right? And so people are figuring this out, though, and more money is indeed flowing in. And so that's why it's neat for us as XRP holders to be in so early. When you're talking about the market cap for this asset class being worth, what is it today? $12, $13 billion. That's like nothing, as I'm going to illustrate. And also, what's neat here is that the debasement of the United States dollar, I think, is going to expedite the process. And we're already seeing institutional money change the way that it's investing, as I'm going to cite here. And I think that ultimately this is going to flow through to the cryptocurrency asset class, including XRP. And again, we were here first, before the institutions. Well, before most, I mean, there are institutions already in it. If you're new, okay, some of them beat you. But I'm still saying there aren't that many institutional purchasers within this asset class. So to me, it represents a substantial opportunity like that, mixed with the fact that markets are illiquid. And then you've also got the debasement of the United States dollar, which is the world's global reserve currency. Talk about the perfect storm. It's crazy, right? And so a veteran macro investor, Dan Tapiero, claims that dollar debasement fears will eventually drive institutions to Bitcoin, given that they are already diving into gold in his latest tweet. The two rivaling assets have been trading in tandem over the past month as investors are feverishly seeking safe havens. And you could call them competing. I mean, historically, gold has pretty well proven itself to be a hedge against tumultuous times, right? And you can think even with gold, though, I don't know what the price is today, I didn't check, but I'm guessing the market cap for gold is somewhere in the neighborhood of $9 trillion. In Bitcoin, what's the market cap of Bitcoin? Well, I don't know, but for the asset class, it's you know, what, 350 billion probably. I didn't check right before recording, but you know it's around there. It's less than 400 billion. How much money would have to flow into gold for it to double? How much money would have to flow into the crypto asset class for this asset class to double? See, it's not even close. And so that's why you're getting this opportunity. And this is why, to me, this is a once in a lifetime opportunity. It's not every day that there's an entirely new asset class created. You know, it's exceedingly rare, and that's why I'm thrilled to be here. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong, and I understand that this is all highly risky, but even so, I couldn't be more confident here. You know, I'm not losing sleep over my purchases of XRP. But anyway, Tapiero's bullish comment is related to the news about Ohio police and fire pension fund, OP&F, adding a 5% gold allocation for diversifying its portfolio. And so here's the actual tweet from Dan Tapiero. And this is from yesterday. Before institutions allocate to Bitcoin, many will allocate to gold first. Huge win that advisors Wilshire Associates, and then he writes $168 billion backed 5% gold allocation for Ohio police/fireman's pension. Fiat debasement leads to gold allocation now. Bitcoin in future. I do want to cite too, and he linked to an article here, and in the article it states that the fund was actually $16 billion, and he wrote $168 billion. So I'm guessing that he made a typo. I don't know for sure, but you get the point. So 5% gold allocation. Do you think this would be happening if not for the trillions of United States dollars being printed all willy-nilly, which ultimately is going to lead to increased inflation at some point? Wouldn't you expect it to, even if we're not going to see hyperinflation anytime soon? So it's already changing people's behaviors. Additionally, and this is exciting as well, for those of you not aware, did you know that there are public pension funds out there that are investing in cryptocurrencies today? Take a look at this. And this happened, where is it? Yeah, here we go. This is from February 12th, 2019. And this was the first public instance of a public pension fund investing directly in crypto. And here's the headline from Forbes. Police pension backs Morgan Creek's $40 million blockchain venture capital fund. Now, at this point, the people running this fund, they are trailblazing. Eventually, though, this is going to this was a bold move, admittedly, but eventually this is going to be commonplace because public pension funds, though, that's institutional money right now. It's not just hedge funds, you know. There are endowment funds. There's like 6 different types of institutional investors anyway, but this is one of them here. And so it was interesting because, so it's a $40 million fund. Now, I don't know, it probably states in here, I didn't reread this article, I just had this pulled up so that I could make my point, but most of that money, admittedly, it was invested into blockchain companies, but some of it was directly invested in cryptocurrencies, including Bitcoin. And I'm telling you, as it becomes, like I said earlier, increasingly clear that this asset class is not going away, more and more institutional money will come in. And think about it. Look, these are major dollar amounts we're talking about here. And as more flows in, I'm telling you, supply and demand. You know what supply and demand does. And as more XRP is eaten up by institutional investors, what do you think that's going to do for the market rate? There's only so much XRP out there. And think about it, as more corridors are built out, you do understand that there are pools of liquidity that make the transaction of XRP possible. You understand that somebody has to actually hold the XRP in liquidity pools for it to be used. Like somebody has to actually hold it, and as more is held in order to facilitate these transactions, like, what do you think is going to happen? If this continues to get adopted, and there is no other solution for the train wreck that is the world of global cross-border payments, you need to use a decentralized cryptocurrency with an open market value. XRP is the only one being positioned for this use case. There is no other coin being positioned for this use case. And standards matter. Once in place, good luck dethroning a standard. Good luck. Yeah, tell the whole world to change, even if you had a coin that was marginally better, even if you did. So instead of a ledger closing every few seconds, it was every 10th of a second. Materially, what are you going to... It's still effectively real time. You're not... Once it's in place, even if it's a better coin, quote unquote, and like that much faster, nobody's going to care. A standard's in place. Could be like, oh yeah, so the way that the world's now wired, let's just quit using this XRP thing, even though it's got sufficient liquidity the world over, and then just switch it to XYZ coin for reasons? No, that's not how this is going to work. I don't believe that for a freaking second here. And then Ripple C, I mentioned this too, and this is a recent story, a couple days ago, yeah, okay. Ripple CEO, Fed decision regarding interest rates to direct focus to crypto. And he's saying the same thing that Mr. Tapiero is talking about here as far as debasing the dollar, right? And so here's what Ripple CEO Brad Garlinghouse wrote. The pandemic is throwing so many playbooks out the window. Yesterday's action flies in the face of decades of precedent. Signs point to further dollar debasement in the near term, leading to further diversification of assets, which will certainly be good for crypto. Absolutely. And they were talking about increased inflation coming along the way. That's essentially in the nutshell what he was talking about here. And he linked to an article in his original tweet here. And so again, we are XRP holders, right? I mean, I'm assuming you are if you're listening to this. Get the occasional Bitcoin maxi troll, but we're probably all XRP holders if we're interested in this type of content on the YouTubes. And so we're here first. The US dollar is being debased. We can see that it is materially changing the way that institutional money is investing, and we know that there's increased adoption of crypto asset classes within the crypto asset class, and I have nothing but confidence that XRP is going to have staying power as long as it continues to be adopted. And as long as it does, hey, I'm thrilled. So we'll see here. I can't, like, the opportunity, in my opinion, and I could be wrong, and like I said, none of this is financial advice, but I believe that XRP could be worth substantially more. It is so illiquid right now. My gosh, if it's really going to have staying power, I can't even imagine what it's going to look like in another decade. Seriously, and I am just thrilled to be here first. I'm so thankful that I came across this and did a ton of research to get to a point where I was like, oh my gosh, this actually makes sense, and I couldn't be more confident. I really couldn't. So that's why I'm happy to keep putting my money where my mouth is here. But think about it. I think that there are going to be some cryptocurrencies, individual coins, that will have trillion-dollar market caps on their own. You probably don't need more than 5 or 10 cryptocurrencies in the world. We'll see how many end up having staying power. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But a lot of the smart people out there are saying things like, for instance, Dan Moorhead of Pantera Capital says he thinks there'll be like 8 to 10 cryptocurrencies a decade from now, and that's it. And he said he thinks XRP is going to be one of them. So if you're solving a real world problem, there you go. And so for those cryptocurrencies that ultimately have staying power, I will not be surprised if they end up having trillion-dollar market caps. And it doesn't mean $1 trillion has to flow into it. I'm not going to talk about that further in this video. But the net inflow of cash required to take an asset from, like, where XRP is today, around 12 or 13 billion, up to $1 trillion, is nowhere near $1 trillion. It's substantially fewer dollars than that would have to go in. And we wouldn't know exactly what that's going to be because we don't know exactly how humans are going to behave. But you get these parabolic run-ups. And it's, again, never the case. Like, if there's a market cap of $13 billion for XRP right now, nowhere near that much money actually flowed in. That's just what humans are because they're valuing it at right now. Because understand, market cap, it's simply the market rate times the total supply. That's it. And so it's not counting how much money was actually thrown into it in the first place. It's just, again, whatever today's rate is times the total supply. So as far as getting to trillion-dollar market caps, my gosh, when people have this stupid argument, oh my God, somebody's going to throw $1 trillion into XRP? No, you don't know what you're talking about, you little baby back bitch. I'm telling you, that's not how this works. I'll wrap it up there, though. But I'd love to hear what you think on this. Feel free to drop a comment below. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the moon, Lambo!